Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Kelly. No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. You got me this week. I'm Marco D'Angelo in studio with
That was a joke. That was funny. Oh, go ahead, Marco. Oh, did we bother you? No. Continue on.
I never noticed. Did you notice?
Oh, no, I didn't.
No,
It's not Kelly? Oh, well, okay.
All right.
I'm serious. Come on, continue.
Which bar did you stop at on the way to videos today? I'm joined by Ralph Michaels, the heckler, and Bryan Leonard. You can follow
Heckler
those.
number 2.
Yeah, but you guys were started early on with a group text before we even got here this morning. We're going to talk about questions from Twitter. We ask you guys on Twitter every week. You got some questions for us? Hit us up. We'll answer them. And this one comes from BH Buying. And you know what? When I read this one, guys, me and you talk about this all the time. And I said, this is a great one. I said, it's going to be the three of us talking about this one. And I'm sure if Kelly was here, she's got her fair share, too.
She knows more than any of us dealing with this.
But how do you maintain your composure and professionalism when, someone...
You could say it. It's his question.
It's his question. When some jackass writes something insulting or stupid about you on Twitter. You know, guy, I'm going to put it to you, and we all say, there's bullies behind keyboards. There's guys that love to talk. There's guys that love to talk here in Vegas. I've yet to have one of those guys from Vegas that tweet out, constantly shit on us, to walk up to me, because I'm everywhere, walk up to me and tell me that. Please. I invite you. I'll buy you a drink. Come up and tell me what you say to me on Twitter. But guys, go ahead. That was an open invitation.
Well, I think I'm luckier than most, but maybe it's because I'm different. I don't use Twitter much to share my opinion. I do a lot of trends and angles and situations and answer questions. So I really don't have a lot of negatives. I use Twitter just to try to help people learn things and answer questions. So I'm probably one of the fortunate few. But again, I don't get on there, give my opinions on a lot of things. I don't talk about games that I played. So, I use it just as a tool for that. So to me, the people that do want to heckle or say, this angle is stupid or it doesn't make sense, I don't care, because it's up to the follower to decide if it makes sense. I'm just putting a stat out there. It doesn't mean I tell you to bet the stat. It doesn't mean that I would bet the stat. It doesn't mean I think the stat is bet worthy. But it's interesting if a team has lost 18 straight games on a Thursday. Is it relevant? No, but it's not betting information. It's just general information that's unique and out there. So, I just basically ignore it, because just because one person doesn't like it doesn't mean that the other 99 don't, or even if 100 people don't like it, it doesn't mean that some people find it interesting. And that's what Twitter is. It's to give your opinions. It's to find interesting notes. It's to learn how to be a better, as you say on First Pitch. And all of those things put together, to me, I just draw a blank eye, don't pay attention to it, and just continue moving on.
Anybody in the public sphere, whether you're a TV star, a movie star, an athlete, somebody giving opinions, there's people out there just trying to bring you down just because they're a little bit jealous. And to me, I use Twitter similarly, where a lot of people advertise and promote more than I do. I try to tweet out things that I think are either cool, maybe things I didn't know, the correct way to do certain things. And you and I, you talked about some of the angles that you've sent out in the past. I don't see any relative some of that. We've done radio shows, and I go, I don't know if that has any value. But you let me tell my opinion, and as long as somebody is coming up and saying something about what I do and put something in my head that possibly I'm not right, there's another way to look at it, I have no problem. But if somebody's just coming after you just to be a dick, I just block them. Yeah. And I don't have to worry about it. You and I have gone off with this years ago. You would not block people because you're such a nice guy. And you would be all upset about it. And I said, if the guy isn't treating you with respect, why should you treat him with respect by giving him any information that's going to make him a winner? And so I just block him. And Kelly's got a long list of people she has blocked. And being a woman in this industry, you're going to get it, and it's unfortunate.
You know, I'm just going to speak up for Kelly here for a minute, too. The difference between us and Kelly is Kelly doesn't sell plays, so she gives all her plays out. And people think 1 0-3 night makes you a horrible handicapper, or one little run. And we know that part of the business, that people that follow a short term and then jump on someone's record because of that, asinine, ludicrous. If you follow someone for a fair period of time and follow their plays, you find out how legitimate they are. So, you know,
I'm not always right, and I want to learn. I talk about this all the time. I read a lot of books. I listen to other podcasts. I listen to other handicappers. I want their opinion on games if they're thinking for something differently than what I'm thinking of. So if you're coming back and say, you know, like I had a free play yesterday on the Phillies or whatever, and I didn't put any analysis on it because you can't put much analysis on the Twitter feed. But if somebody didn't like the Phillies and come back to me and says, yeah, but you know, that's great. I might even retweet that out.
if they have a reason.
Yeah, if
to
they have a
argue your
legitimate
point.
reason to
and
go
not
on
just
the
after
opposite
the fact
side.
say it was a stupid
Right,
play.
instead after the play loses, and then they come back and say it was a
If you have a
terrible play.
real complaint, do it before the game has started and
Yes.
complain the opposite
Don't-
why.
don't-
and
don't
you will
come
gain,
back to me after
you will
you've
gain
lost.
everyone's respect.
After the game is lost and say that was a
yeah,
bad
absolutely.
pick. Say it before the game goes off.
There's Twitter trolls, and then there's a second thing that we deal with sometimes, and I call them the Twitter high horse people, okay, that want to, you know, just bash the industry in general. And some of them are like and I'm not going to mention anybody.
I respect a lot of them that do that, but they're just trying to help the general public.
Yes, but some of them get crossed the line, and I'm not going to mention people's names. Some of them use their podcast as avenues to just bash all the time. And you know what? If you don't like it, you don't like that we sell picks, that's your prerogative. But, you know, just to condemn the entire industry as a blanket, when there's a few, and, you know, there are scammers in the industry. There's no question about
Definitely.
that. There's in every business. I don't care what business it is. There's good businesses and there's bad businesses. There's businesses that cut corners all the time. But does that make all of those people in that type of business bad? No. You got to sort it out.
It's, you know, I compare ourselves to stockbrokers all the time. We're selling information. Stockbrokers, if you lose money on stock, do you say every stockbroker sucks? No. You had a bad stockbroker, or the market turned, or they went on a bad run. It's the same comparison.
And you talked about other businesses. Is McDonald's selling healthy food that is going to make people live longer? No. They're in business to sell food that people enjoy, and they're going to stop as convenience. And McDonald's is one of the biggest companies in the world.
And by the way,
French fries.
Yeah, and by the way, we call Bryan the Mac X. Oh, that was the conference, not the Big Mac.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, guys, it's a good topic and it's a good question. And you know, it's sometimes though they just hit you at the right time with a tweet. And I'll be honest, you know, all of us, when we lose a big play, as far as our bet goes, I have no emotion because that's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
We bet every day. We're going to lose bets every day.
You're going to lose 45% of your bets if you're an
Exactly.
excellent
We
bettor.
understand losing, but when we have a big play, I know all three of us and most of everybody at WagerTalk, but we really wear the losses, on our sleeves. I mean, it's something we feel bad, and you're in a bad mood. You lost the game, and then you got a dickhead come in and and say something, and then you look at his Twitter account, and he's been on Twitter for 5 years and has 3 followers.
Yeah.
His mom and dad. I think. I don't know.
Just for those out there, if you want to treat us with respect, we'll gladly refer back to you. If you want to be a dick, you just realize you're going to be blocked.
Wow, there's a lot of swearing on this video.
Oh, there's people named Dick. Richard. I should have said if you want to be a Richard.
There was a guy the other day that asked a question. Remember, what was his name? Richard.
All right, guys. Hey, very good question. We appreciate that. And again, that question came from BH Buying. And hey, guys, you want to be a member of the WagerTalk Text Club? It's 100% free. Just text WagerTalk to 33222, and you will get a $10 coupon for signing up. You'll get discounts, free plays. Cost you nothing. Check
Johnny's
it out.
gone some incredible runs on the text club.
Yes, Johnny has. All right.
Somebody's going to say, you said 100% free. They're going to lose their first bet and say, I thought you said this was 100%.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Bryan, chiming in, answering there. Hey, we'll be back with more here on the WagerTalk TV.